We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
Imagine this. The walls are closing in on Sean Diddy Combs, and the once untouchable mogul is now facing charges that could send shockwaves through the entire entertainment industry. But the real twist, Diddy's not going down alone. There are whispers that he's pointing fingers at someone even more powerful, none other than Oprah Winfrey. Yes, you heard that right. The queen of media herself might be tangled up in a web of lies, manipulation, and cover-ups thanks to Diddy allegedly spilling secrets to the authorities. What's really going on behind the scenes, and how deep does this go?
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
Diddy's recent arrest on September 16, 2024, shocked everyone. The charges he's facing are beyond serious: racketeering, human exploitation, and coercion. But what's more jaw-dropping are the connections starting to come to light, and it's not just about Diddy's alleged criminal behavior anymore. The spotlight is slowly shifting to Oprah, a woman who has long stood untarnished despite swirling rumors of her involvement with powerful and dangerous figures.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
For years, Oprah has been able to maintain a pristine public image. But what if Diddy's downfall has the potential to drag her down too? These latest developments suggest there's more than meets the eye when it comes to their relationship. It's becoming clear that Diddy's influence, once seen as the product of his own ambition, might have been shaped, some would say orchestrated, by none other than Oprah herself.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
This isn't just about Diddy facing charges. It's about a deeper story unfolding, one that exposes how Diddy might have been molded into a figure of control, manipulation, and power by Oprah's unseen hand. Their relationship, once considered just a casual acquaintance between two titans of the industry, may have been far more intricate and sinister. And as more details come to light, the narrative suggests that Diddy might have been working for Oprah in more ways than one.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
Diddy's arrest wasn't out of the blue. Let's break down the timeline because it's crucial to understanding how these two are connected. On September 16, 2024, federal agents swooped in and took Diddy into custody at a luxury New York hotel. The next day, the indictment was unsealed, revealing charges that painted a picture of years of exploitation, manipulation, and even coercion at Diddy's infamous freak-off gatherings. You might remember Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who made headlines in November 2023 when she filed a lawsuit accusing him of years of physical and psychological torment. She claimed Diddy forced her into humiliating situations, manipulated her into compromising positions, and even coerced others into participating in his twisted fantasies. But Diddy denied everything, and despite settling the case within 24 hours, the damage was done.
That he controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
That lawsuit might have just been the tip of the iceberg. Cassie's claims opened the floodgates with other individuals coming forward, sharing their own stories about Diddy's alleged behavior. By March 2024, federal agents had raided two of Diddy's properties in Los Angeles and Miami, finding enough evidence to move forward with serious charges. But here's where it gets interesting. While the feds were busy collecting dirt on Diddy, there were whispers of another name coming up repeatedly during the investigation: Oprah.
With very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his homes.
Oprah's name started circulating in hushed conversations. How exactly was she involved in all this? Well, the rumors suggest that Diddy might not have been the mastermind behind some of the more sinister activities. Instead, he could have been following orders from someone much higher up the food chain, Oprah herself. And if these whispers hold any weight, it suggests that Oprah was pulling the strings all along, using Diddy to do her dirty work while she remained untouchable in the public eye.
A man who claims to work miracles and heal the sick. He calls himself John of God, but there's nothing godly about him.
Think about it. Oprah has been connected to some questionable figures over the years. Remember Harvey Weinstein? For years, she was closely associated with him until the allegations against him surfaced, and she distanced herself as quickly as she could. There was also John of God, the so-called healer, who was later exposed for his crimes. Oprah had praised him on her show, even referring to his inspiring work. But once the truth came out, she was nowhere to be seen. This pattern of Oprah being connected to powerful men, only to back away when things turn ugly, is starting to look a lot more calculated than coincidental.
Well, either way, if you got to run to a private island because your evil doings are doing so much and they storming your house, it's one of these.
But let's bring it back to Diddy. His September arrest wasn't just about his own misdeeds. It's about what he knows and what he's willing to share to save himself. And it seems like Diddy's ready to talk. According to sources close to the investigation, Diddy has been cooperating with authorities, feeding them information that goes way beyond his own alleged crimes. He's reportedly spilling secrets about the entertainment industry, and Oprah's name keeps coming up. The theory is that Diddy's been keeping tabs on some of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and Oprah has always been at the top of that list. Now that he's facing a possible life sentence, he's ready to use that information as leverage.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
But how deep does this go? According to insiders, Diddy's role as a confidant and possibly even an informant for Oprah stretches back years. Some claim that Diddy was tasked with gathering dirt on celebrities, everything from their darkest secrets to their shady dealings. And who would have been the ultimate beneficiary of all that information? None other than Oprah, who, according to these rumors, has been using it to maintain her power and control over the industry. Diddy, some say, was her man on the inside, helping her keep tabs on the movers and shakers of Hollywood.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
It's all starting to add up. Diddy's notorious freak-off parties, which have been described in court documents as gatherings of debauchery, weren't just about indulgence. Some sources claim they were orchestrated events where hidden cameras recorded everything that went down. And guess who reportedly has copies of those tapes? That's right, Diddy. But here's the kicker. Those tapes might not have just been for Diddy's own protection. Some believe that Oprah had a hand in setting up those recordings using the footage to keep certain people in line. If true, it would mean that Oprah has been manipulating the upper echelons of Hollywood for years, with Diddy acting as her enforcer.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
The parallels between Diddy and Oprah are impossible to ignore. Both built their empires on charm, charisma, and influence. But as the cracks start to show, it's becoming evident that there's a darker side to their rise to the top. Diddy's arrest is shining a light on Oprah's carefully hidden connections to some of the entertainment industry's most unsavory figures. While Diddy is now the one facing criminal charges, the question remains, how long can Oprah keep herself out of the fray? As more information leaks, it's becoming clear that Diddy wasn't just operating on his own. There are reports that Oprah knew about some of Diddy's questionable activities all along and chose to look the other way, perhaps because it served her own interests. After all, why would someone with as much power and influence as Oprah need to get her hands dirty when she had someone like Diddy to do it for her?
Had clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
Oprah's involvement in all of this could explain why she's remained relatively silent on Diddy's controversies over the years. Think about it. There have been numerous allegations against Diddy for years, from the accusations made by Cassie to the more recent claims from former employees and associates. Yet, Oprah, a woman who has never been shy about using her platform to speak out on social issues, has remained tight-lipped. Some speculate that this silence is deliberate, a way to protect herself from being dragged into the spotlight alongside Diddy. And now, with Diddy facing the fight of his life, he might be ready to flip the script. If the rumors are true, Diddy could be prepared to give up Oprah in exchange for a lighter sentence. According to insiders, Diddy has already hinted to federal investigators that he has information on powerful people in Hollywood, and Oprah's name is reportedly at the top of that list. Whether he's bluffing or not, the fact that Diddy is even mentioning Oprah in these discussions should be enough to raise some serious red flags. There's a growing belief that Diddy's downfall is only the beginning. The investigation is far from over, and as authorities dig deeper, there's no telling what other names will come up. But one thing's for sure. The more Diddy talks, the more dangerous this could become for Oprah. If Diddy truly has the receipts, and if he's willing to hand them over to save himself, then Oprah's spotless image could be in serious jeopardy.
I'm like, well, how is she making all this money? Oh, because she owns it? And because of syndication?
Let's not forget, Oprah has built her career on being the ultimate gatekeeper in Hollywood. She's had the power to make or break careers, and she's done it with a smile. But what happens when the person who's been pulling the strings behind the scenes gets exposed? If the investigation uncovers any proof that Oprah was involved in, or even just aware of Diddy's activities, it could be game over for her legacy. As Diddy's legal battle intensifies, it's worth noting that he's not going down without a fight. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, has already said that Diddy plans to clear his name and will fight the charges to the end. But what's really interesting is that some of Diddy's former associates are starting to speak up as well. Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer who worked closely with Diddy, filed a lawsuit earlier this year that could blow this whole thing wide open. Jones claims that Diddy not only pressured him into unspeakable situations, but also forced him to gather compromising information on other celebrities. And who, according to Jones, was one of Diddy's biggest clients? None other than Oprah.
You describe yourself as a spiritual medium. What does that mean, a medium?
Médium, eu sou espiritualista.
Jones alleges that Diddy's parties weren't just about pleasure. They were about gathering intel. Hidden cameras were reportedly placed throughout Diddy's properties, recording everything that happened. And Jones claims that Oprah was well aware of this setup, using the footage to maintain control over certain celebrities who attend those gatherings. If true, this could be the smoking gun that finally connects Oprah to Diddy's alleged wrongdoings. It's a chilling thought. The idea that two of the most powerful figures in entertainment were working together to manipulate, control, and exploit those around them. But as more details come to light, it's becoming harder to dismiss these allegations as mere conspiracy theories. There's a pattern here, one that points to a relationship between Diddy and Oprah that goes far beyond what we've seen on the surface.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes.
With Diddy now seemingly willing to cooperate with investigators, the stakes couldn't be higher. He's reportedly ready to name names, and it's not just Oprah who should be worried. There are rumors that Diddy has information on other celebrities, politicians, and business moguls, all of whom could be implicated if he decides to talk. The question now is whether Oprah will remain untouched or if she'll finally be dragged into the mess she's allegedly helped create. As we dive into the next section, the spotlight will shift to how Oprah has managed to stay above the fray all these years. We'll explore the strategies she's allegedly used to distance herself from controversy and how her calculated moves have kept her out of the headlines. Until now. Is this just another chapter in Oprah's story of untouchable influence? Or are we witnessing the beginning of her unraveling? So let's get into Oprah's history of controversies and the long list of questionable connections that seem to follow her. It's fascinating how Oprah has managed to stay at the top for decades, right? From her early days on the talk show circuit to building a media empire, she's crafted an image of someone who's unshakable and trustworthy. But behind the scenes, Oprah's story is much more complicated. While she has long been seen as a beacon of influence and wisdom, there's another side to her narrative, one that includes affiliations with some pretty notorious figures.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
You can't talk about Oprah without diving into her associations with Harvey Weinstein. For years, they were seen together at events, with Oprah even praising him publicly. They were close enough that Oprah could openly champion his work, and many people saw them as a power duo in Hollywood. But as soon as Weinstein's misdeeds came to light, Oprah distanced herself without a second thought. She made it clear that she was appalled, but you have to wonder, how could she not have known? Her close connection to him wasn't a one-time thing. It was built on years of shared success and mutual admiration. It's the same with John of God, the so-called healer from Brazil, whom Oprah once called inspiring on her show. When the truth came out about him, Oprah was quick to step away, issuing a carefully worded statement to protect her image. That's the thing with Oprah. She knows when to walk away, but the timing always feels a bit too convenient, doesn't it? These weren't just casual acquaintances. They were people Oprah endorsed and promoted, which raises questions about her judgment or maybe her ability to look the other way when it serves her interests. It's almost like she's always one step ahead, maintaining her empire while letting others take the fall when things go wrong. And now, with Diddy allegedly ready to speak out, people are wondering if he's just another piece in her carefully orchestrated game.
And let me tell you something else. Not only should he have apologized to Cassie in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
Now, Diddy himself has a long history of brushing up against controversy, particularly with his reputation in the music industry and connections that are often more than a little shady. He's never shied away from playing the bad boy, flaunting a lifestyle filled with excess and influence. From the early days of his career, Diddy has been no stranger to trouble. He's been linked to everything from nightclub incidents to allegations of intimidating his rivals. Remember the East Coast-West Coast rivalry back in the 90s? Diddy and his Bad Boy Records were right at the center of it, locked in a fierce and often dangerous competition with Suge Knight's Death Row Records. This was no ordinary music rivalry. It was an intense, sometimes violent feud that resulted in some of the biggest scandals in hip-hop history. For Diddy, this wasn't just about making music. It was about staking his claim as one of the most powerful men in the industry. And to do that, he played hardball. His career has been marked by accusations of intimidation, manipulation, and an ability to skate through scandals relatively unscathed. There was the infamous incident at Club New York in 1999 where Diddy and then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez were present during a chaotic shooting that injured multiple people. Although Diddy was acquitted, the case put him in the public eye for all the wrong reasons. It's as if Diddy has always been able to keep one foot in the shadows, operating with a level of impunity that's usually reserved for Hollywood's most powerful players. And maybe that's because he's always been part of that elite circle, a circle that includes Oprah. They might seem like they come from different worlds. Oprah with her talk show empire and Diddy with his hip-hop roots. But in reality, they're cut from the same cloth. They've both built their careers on influence, cultivating loyal followings while maintaining connections with Hollywood's biggest names. And while Oprah presents herself as the queen of daytime TV and a symbol of empowerment, there are plenty of whispers about how she's been connected to some of the industry's darker figures. Diddy, meanwhile, wears his controversial reputation like a badge of honor. But the fact remains that they both swim in the same waters, moving through circles where power and loyalty are often more important than ethics or accountability.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
What's interesting is how their careers seem to mirror each other in certain ways. Both have faced accusations of wielding their influence in ways that go beyond what's seen in public. Oprah has the ability to make or break a career with a single endorsement. She's known for her ability to shape public perception, and she's used that power to launch careers and shut down rumors as she sees fit. Similarly, Diddy has built an empire that extends far beyond music, with ventures in fashion, television, and more. He's a master at creating hype, turning himself into a brand that's bigger than anyone's scandal. And like Oprah, he's managed to stay at the top despite repeated controversies. It's almost as if they've both learned how to navigate the industry's dark side without ever getting too close. Oprah, with her endorsements of controversial figures, seems to have a knack for aligning herself with powerful people while avoiding direct involvement in their downfalls. Diddy, meanwhile, has his own network of connections that include some of the most notorious names in entertainment. And yet, they both continue to thrive, seemingly untouchable, even as those around them fall. This might be why their alleged connection is raising so many eyebrows now. If they've truly been operating within the same elite circles, perhaps it's no coincidence that their names are now being mentioned together as this story unfolds.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
The idea that Diddy could have been acting on behalf of someone like Oprah adds a whole new layer to his history of controversies. What if his role wasn't just about building his own empire, but also about protecting the interests of others? It would explain why he's been able to maneuver through scandals that might have derailed anyone else's career. And now, as Diddy's empire seems to be on the verge of collapse, the question becomes, how much of his alleged misconduct was influenced by those he's associated with? This isn't just about Diddy's actions. It's about the broader network of influence that allows people like him and Oprah to operate above the rules. They both come from a world where connections are currency and where knowing the right people can keep you out of trouble or bring your empire crashing down. For Diddy, that network might have included Oprah, whose influence could have helped shield him from scrutiny. Now that he's potentially turning on his former allies, we might be about to see just how deep those connections go.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
Both Diddy and Oprah have been part of Hollywood's elite for decades, and both have faced their share of scandals. But what sets them apart is their ability to survive and even thrive amidst the chaos. Diddy's reputation as a provocateur and Oprah's image as a media mogul might seem worlds apart, but they both share an uncanny ability to keep moving forward no matter what. And now, as Diddy faces charges that could upend his life, the idea that he's connected to Oprah in ways we never imagined adds a whole new dimension to this story. As this saga continues to unfold, one thing is clear. Diddy and Oprah are not just bystanders in Hollywood's drama. They're players who understand how to use their influence to get what they want. Whether it's through connections to other powerful figures or simply through their own ability to control the narrative, they've both built empires on a foundation of power, secrecy, and, some would argue, manipulation. Now, with Diddy potentially ready to reveal what he knows, we might finally get a glimpse into the true nature of their connection and what it means for the future of Hollywood's elite.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
So as the dust settles on this scandal, it leaves us all with some pretty big questions. Could it be that Diddy and Oprah's friendship is more than just a mutual admiration between two powerful figures? And if Diddy's willing to spill secrets now, just how much of Oprah's influence will be brought to light? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Oprah has more skeletons in her closet than we realize, or is Diddy simply trying to drag her down with him? Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.